The beginning of the journey, the world prepared before us, before a single human being opened their eyes, the universe was already unfolding in perfect harmony. Stars were lit like lanterns in the night sky, galaxies stretched across the heavens, oceans were poured into their basins, and mountains were anchored deep into the earth. All of this happened long before humankind appeared, a sign that the outward world was prepared first, as an act of mercy, a place of learning, and a mirror for the inner world, that would one day awaken within us. This is the meaning of taskhīr, to subjugate, to make something serve a higher purpose. And the Qur'an reminds us of this mercy in 31:20. Do you not see that God has subjugated to you whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, and completed his favors upon you outwardly and inwardly? The outward favors are visible everywhere: stability, order, beauty, and a world ready for exploration. But this raises a deeper question. If the outward favors are complete, what of the inward favors? What is the hidden subjugation that remains unseen? That answer lies further ahead in our journey. Signs in nature, outward senses pointing to inward realities. God created all things in pairs, outward and inward, visible and hidden, physical and spiritual. The outward senses were given so that the human being could recognize the existence of inward senses meant for a higher purpose. Nature becomes the first classroom of the soul. Mountains hold the earth firm just as certainty holds the heart firm. Trees stabilize the land just as wisdom stabilizes the intellect. Oceans sustain life within and send rain through the sun's heat, a cycle mirroring how divine light nourishes both the inner and outer life of the believer. Humanity has learned to harness these outward signs: hydropower, dams capturing the force of rivers, solar panels drawing energy from the sun, nuclear stations, unlocking the power within atoms, wind turbines, turning invisible air into electricity, drones delivering goods across the sky, and oil and gas powering entire civilizations. These are the positive fruits of physical taskhīr, the blessings that bring comfort, progress, and discovery. The dark side of subjugation, but the same subjugation that brings comfort can also be misused. The atom that powers a city can also destroy one. The drone that delivers medicine can also deliver bombs. The metals that build homes can also build artillery. The plants that heal can also be turned into drugs that enslave. The Qur'an warns that when physical mastery is divorced from spiritual guidance, the result is corruption on land and sea. Subjugation becomes a test. Will humanity use the outward world as a ladder to ascend, or as a weapon to dominate and descend? A universe that moves a sign of incomplete subjugation. The universe is not static. It expands, evolves, and reveals new mysteries with every generation. Stars are born and die, galaxies collide, and the very fabric of space stretches outward. This dynamism is itself a sign that physical subjugation can never be complete. No human being will ever reach every star, map every ocean, or master every force. This incompleteness is intentional. It is God pointing us toward a deeper truth. The real subjugation, the complete subjugation, is spiritual and intellectual, not physical. The outward world is only the beginning of the journey.
Reflection followed by Q&A, what the outward world was trying to tell you. When we look back at the beginning of the journey, something subtle but profound emerges. The universe in mute language was speaking long before we learned how to listen. Everything around us, the stars, the mountains, the oceans, the winds, was already arranged in perfect harmony before a single human heartbeat existed. Just like the human body in which the internal organs has the world of multiplicity and oneness. This means the world was not built for us to conquer, but for us to recognize. It is a mirror placed before the soul, a silent teacher, waiting for the student to awaken from the death of negligence. The sole purpose of the soul coming to this earth. The outward world was completed first, because the inward world would require a lifetime to uncover and recognize. And yet, most people walk through life, oblivious, as if the physical world is the only thing that exists. They see these just as symbols, such as mountains as rocks which hide rubies, oceans as water that hide pearls as ornaments, and the sky as empty space holding water to give life. But the Qur'an hints that these are not just objects, they are signs, each one pointing to something within us, a miracle of God. The firmness of mountains whispers, "Anchor your heart and faith in your guide who is Mount Sinai." Qur'an 23:20. The patience of trees teaches, "Grow inwardly with the everlasting spiritual fruits from the tree of Al-Shajara." Qur'an 14:24. The cycle of rain reminds, "The kind Lord pours such a magnificent and soul-enlivening rain of the bounties of soul and knowledge." If we only see the physical, we miss the secret of Allah, who is ever-living and everlasting, the attributes manifested in the ever-living and everlasting light of the Imam. Humanity has mastered the outward world with the gift of the worldly intellect. We split atoms, capture sunlight, command the winds, and send machines into the sky. But this mastery is minuscule compared to the universal intellect. A person can hold fire in their hands and still be cold inside. This is why the Qur'an warns that outward power without inward guidance becomes corruption, arrogance, and misguidance. The same atom that lights a city can erase it. The same drone that delivers medicine can deliver destruction. The same intellect that builds can also blind and remain far from true subjugation. The universe itself refuses to let us settle into arrogance through its signs. It is constantly inviting us to humility. It keeps expanding, stretching beyond our reach, reminding us that physical taskhīr will never be complete. No matter how far we travel, how much we discover, or how deeply we dig, the outward world will always outrun us. Why? Because it was never meant to be subjugated physically but spiritually. The outward world is the invitation, not the arrival. The beginning, not the end. The signpost, not the treasure. Its very incompleteness is a message. Look inward where the treasure lies hidden. The real journey is in the one who carries the complete divine spark. If the viewer takes anything from this first part of the video, let it be this. The world outside you was completed so that the world inside you could begin. The mountains, oceans, stars, and winds were placed before you so that intellect, certainty, wisdom, meaning, and light of guidance could awaken within you. The question now is not whether the universe is subjugated to you, it already is potentially. The question is whether you are ready to be subjugated to the holder of the truth, whom God has subjugated everything for the true believers. Qur'ān 36:12-47. Because the outward world can only take you to the door, the inward world is where you learn how to walk through it. The holder of the truth, the Imam, is the custodian of all treasures. Qur'ān 15:21. The Holy Prophet has said, I am the city of knowledge and Ali is its gate.
Ya Ali Madad Rahima. I've been thinking, in the video we saw, how the outward world was prepared before us. But now I'm wondering, when we talk about subjugation, what does that actually mean for our senses? Is it just seeing miracles, or is there more to it?
Mawla Ali Madad Rahim. There is much more. Every sense you have, sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, can experience miracles. But these miracles come in 3 layers. Revelatory, when God opens something directly to the soul. Allegorical, when a symbol or sign hints at a deeper meaning. Subjugative, when the universe itself bends to reveal a truth. So, a single moment, a sound, a scent, a vision, can carry 3 worlds of meaning. The senses are not just windows, they are gateways.
That's fascinating. But why do some people see these miracles and others don't? Is it just luck?
Not luck, alignment. Think of a fruit tree. If you try to climb it by grabbing a branch, you'll fall. But if you climb the trunk, you reach the fruit. The tree is the universe. The branch is the physical world. The trunk is the universal soul. If someone tries to reach spiritual realities through the physical alone, they slip. But if they climb through the soul, through the Imam, the fruits of meaning become reachable.
So, the universe can't be fully subjugated unless the soul is subjugated first?
Exactly. You cannot command the outer world if the inner world is still in chaos. The soul is the trunk, the foundation. Matter is only the branch.
You mentioned cycles, physical and spiritual. How do they affect us?
Just as day erases night, and night erases day, the physical cycle and the spiritual cycle erase each other's traces. Right now, we live in a physical cycle, inventions, machines, technology. But a time will come when spiritual progress becomes so powerful that even our greatest inventions will feel like children's toys. Humanity will outgrow them, not by force, but by elevation.
That's a powerful thought. But how does imagination fit into all this? You said something earlier about the world of imagination being created from wakefulness.
Yes, everything you see in the waking world can appear in your imagination, but stripped of its physical form. A mountain becomes an image. A river becomes a memory. A face becomes a feeling. This shows that the soul can lift things out of matter and carry them into a higher world. Then comes the dream world, when the senses rest and imagination freezes. And when the dream dissolves, through worship and spiritual discipline, the soul enters spirituality, a state the Qur'an calls nu'az, a peaceful slumber of the world, and an awakening of the heart. From spirituality emerges the world of intellect, the world of command, the highest realm. And here is the secret. What is last is also first. What is first is also last, just like a circle. The journey ends where it began, as light.
Rahima, this is incredible. It feels like every layer of reality is connected, like steps on a ladder.
It is a ladder, and every rung is inside you. The senses, imagination, dreams, spirituality, intellect, they are not separate worlds. They are stages of awakening. And the one who guides you through them is the Imam, the living trunk of the tree, the soul of the universe, the key to the worlds within.
One last question. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, our Ismaili faith is spiritual, a faith of the intellect. Does that mean just practicing rituals isn't going to get us anywhere? Personal search is a continuous path of the Imam's guidance. I suppose I couldn't just listen to today's session and then wait for the next one without asking any questions. That wouldn't make sense, right?
You're absolutely right. It wouldn't make sense. Rituals are important, but they are not the destination. They are the doorway you walk through to begin the journey. Our faith has always encouraged us to think, to reflect, to question, and to understand. The Imam doesn't want followers who simply perform actions blindly. He wants seekers who awaken their intellect and illuminate their inner world under his guidance. Ritual without understanding is like holding a map, but never traveling. You have the directions, but you never reach the place. The Imam guides us toward a faith that is alive inside the mind and heart, not just performed by the body. He wants us to ask questions, exactly like you're doing now. He wants us to wrestle with meaning, to search for wisdom, to connect the outer practice with the inner purpose. When you pray, you're not just reciting, you're aligning your heart. When you give, you're not just helping, you're polishing your soul. When you reflect, you're not just thinking, you're awakening. Our tradition teaches that every murid must walk their own path of recognition. No one can think for you. No one can understand for you. No one can awaken for you. But we can help each other. As it is important, we reach the higher destination together. This is called hidden intellectual service, but without a title. The Imam gives the light, but we must open the inner eye, the inner doorway. So yes, rituals alone won't take you far. But rituals with understanding, with reflection, with intellect, and with the Imam's guidance, that is the path that transforms a life. Qur'ān 1:6. And Rahim, the fact that you couldn't sit quietly and wait for the next session, that's a sign your journey has already begun.